So today is August the 9th, it is also the Premier League's deadline day. I'm very happy to say that we have 3 Barcelona players involved in the latest transfer. So if you want to know who they are, be sure to watch this video. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Just like always, please remember that this is your #1 place for Barcelona news with no kind of bullcrap bias here on YouTube, so you know what to do. Click the subscribe button down below so you miss anything of the content that we upload here on this channel. So today we're going to be talking about Andre Gomes and Yerry Mina moving to Everton, while Marlon Santos is also approaching a move to Newcastle United. Before starting, however, I want to say that if you want to message me any kind of deal through Instagram, anything going on here on the deadline day that you want me to talk about or just want to discuss between you and me personally or whatever, you can do that by follow me here on Instagram down below. Today I woke up and I just had people saying like, oh my god, Coutinho changed to the number 7, Coutinho changed to the number 7, stuff like that. So if I get that information faster, I can just give it to you quicker, you know, it's like a 1-2-1-2. So we're gonna start off right away talking about Yerry Mina first. I think that this move is sort of like a 50-50, kind of like a failure, but also kind of like a huge success. And that's because I think that Yerry Mina should have remained at Barcelona just perhaps one more year. He just had 6 months to prove himself and just had 5 matches, and I'm not counting that match he had for the Supercopa of Catalonia or something like that, where only 2 teams dispute that. So I think that, to be honest with you, I think Yerry Mina should have had a little bit of a longer stay here at Barcelona. But it's just like, how are we gonna turn down the possibility of selling a player that we bought for 13 million euros for 34 million euros? Everton are making us have a profit of 21 million euros. That's absolutely insane. That's really insane how we are managing to get a player who played really like insignificant matches and have then a 21 million euro profit, selling him to the Premier League. I gotta say that Everton here are making not exactly like a smart business, but it's a good signing either way, because 34 million euros for a player this caliber is not bad in the current market. But if we take into account that Yerry Mina was brought to Barcelona for just 13, it could be seen as a bad deal, but I don't think it is. I think that Yerry Mina will fit very good at Everton, and especially in the Premier League. That physicality, that height is very good for whenever you are playing in a league which is very direct like the Premier League. So I think that Yerry Mina for that will be a very good signing for Everton. So that's why I think it's kind of like a failure, kind of like a success, because Barcelona should have kept the player. I think we should have sold Thomas Vermeulen, but they decided to sell Yerry Mina instead. We got a huge profit, and I think it's gonna fit to Everton. So it's also kind of like a success. So it's kind of like a 50-50. I'm even here and there. In the case of Andre Gomes, which is also joining Everton, this is a news that just came in today. It feels that Everton has told Barcelona, well, Andre Gomes is injured, you don't want him, we're gonna give him a chance. You know what, Andre Gomes, come here, I'll give you a medical and see if you pass it, and perhaps may I discuss with Barcelona a loan move. And that's what's happened. Andre Gomes went to Everton to have a medical, apparently he passed it, and now Everton are talking with Barcelona for a loan deal, who's gonna pay the wages and just insignificant facts like that, and then it's gonna be done deal. I think that this move is actually pretty good for both clubs as well. I think that someone of Andre Gomes, not caliber because he hasn't done like that much, but of Andre Gomes' profile and the way he plays is gonna fit someone like Everton. I think better than would have fit us at Barcelona, and more specifically I think that he's gonna get a lot more playing time, which is what he needs. I feel that it's a very successful move both for the player and Barcelona, because we're getting rid of a player which, to be honest, if he would have kept at Barcelona, he would have just got into a deeper hole. I like Andre Gomes, I like the way he plays, I think he could have been a success at Barcelona, but unfortunately sometimes there are things that happen and players just don't succeed at a club. So I think that Andre Gomes is making the right move to just get a loan, you know, take a breath of fresh air, get back into playing game time, and have like consistent plays. And for instance, if next year we sell someone like Rakitic and we need like somebody else to have a cover up or something, he could come back and still play for Barcelona, stuff like that. But he just needs to play football, because right now for 2 years he has not played at all. He has played bad and always been in that kind of form going down. So now he's gonna like stop and then be here right now in the middle, and it's gonna be up to him whether he goes up or whether he goes down. So he needs to be very careful with this, but I still feel that he gets this new chance to start fresh, and it's a loan move. So he's gonna come back to Barcelona, and then we're gonna see what happens. If he plays good, we can raise his transfer value and have something very similar to, for instance, João Cancelo. Valencia loaned João Cancelo into Inter. He had a very good season, and then they managed to sell João Cancelo for 40 million to Juventus. We could see something like that happen with Andre Gomes. We don't know for sure, but I think it's a good move for both parties, and particularly I think the player. I really think the player is winning with this one. And now to finish it off this video, we're going to take a look at Marlon Santos. In the case of Marlon Santos, he's going on to Newcastle United, and I'm just going to try to give you the info right now because this is something that I have read in different portals and stuff like that, different news sites, because they don't really agree on whether the move is a loan deal, a transfer fee. They don't really agree on that. So I'm going to try to find right now what I can see for you guys. Trying to find Marlon Santos, whether to Newcastle United, whether something's going to happen. Here you just have Everton give medical to Andre Gomes, Fekir, stuff like that. Super huge move. Arsenal give up on the Majo Vida. I don't care about that. Fulham is making good signings. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, where's Marlon Santos? Oh my god, there's so much news. Okay, here it is. It says that Marlon Santos is going to be offered to Newcastle United. He's going to be going on a loan move to the Rafa Benitez side. A side which, to be honest, Newcastle United have not been making good transfers, I think, in the last, like, 2 seasons or even 3 seasons. But this time around with Rafa Benitez, they're making smart signings. But the thing is that I think they're not of the caliber that a club like Newcastle United should be trying to aim at. That's just really unfortunate right now, to be honest, but for Barcelona it's kind of good because we're getting rid of Marlon Santos on a loan deal where he can get a little more playing time. And I think that playing under Rafa Benitez will help certainly defenders a lot, so Marlon Santos is going to be highly benefited from this move. Then this operation is also going to cost 2 million euros for the loan deal, but it's also pending for the work permit that Marlon Santos needs to get because he's obviously not from Europe. So this needs to work out, and hopefully for the end of the day we may see Marlon Santos on a Newcastle shirt. I feel this is a good loan deal for Marlon Santos, targeting particularly that, for instance, Vermeulen is already 32 years old, and perhaps Vermeulen may get sold next season, and if that happens, then Marlon Santos could come in and still have a role to play at Barcelona, because to be honest, he's very, very young. 22 years old I think is Marlon Santos, so he still has a high future ahead of him, and we must give him the... Wait, is he actually 22 years old? I don't know. I think he's 22. Is he either 22 years old or 23? Yeah, he's 22 years old. So it's fine, you know. He has a long future ahead of him. So Marlon Santos getting a loan deal, just waiting out for his role at Barcelona. And if Vermeulen leaves, like I said, he certainly has a spot here at Barcelona, because I don't feel we need to bring somebody else from La Cantera. I think that Marlon Santos is good enough to be our 4th or even 3rd center back, whether the case may be. That's gonna be everything for today, guys. Please, if you have enjoyed this video, drop us a like. If you didn't, a dislike. And just like always, this is your #1 place for Barcelona news here on YouTube, with not any kind of bullcrap bias. So you know what to do. Click the subscribe button down below, and also let me know your thoughts and opinions on this transfer. Do you think Yerry Mina is a good signing? Do you think Andre Gomes is a good transfer? Do you think Marlon Santos deserves his loan move or deserves a spot at Barcelona? Let me know all of that here down below in the comment box section, and also you can DM me in Instagram whenever you want to. So see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.